on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to Watch List Wednesday.
Watch, oh, it's Watch List Wednesday.
I'll add it to the list.
I realized that that's a little bit redundant, but I made the graphic and I was proud of the graphic, so I wanted to use it. Also, I made a mistake. I said welcome back. This is the first ever episode of Watch List Wednesday. Starting this year, one of my New Year's resolutions is to watch a lot of classic films and a lot of movies that people say are some of the greatest movies of all times. So, to start off this list, I got a movie starring Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons that I've been looking forward to watching for the longest time ever. It's called Whiplash, for people who do not know the general concept. I'm right there on that boat with you, actually. I'm going to be totally honest. The main thing that I know about this is that this guy's a drummer. He's insanely dedicated to his craft. He's really passionate about drumming. And then J.K. Simmons' character is somebody who's a coach who goes a little rough on him. But that's all I know about the movie. I've heard that the ending of it is incredibly emotional, and it's something that some people sometimes would like to discuss and like talk about with other like film bros and stuff like that. So I am very excited to see what this movie has in store and see if I'm going to be emotionally stable enough to watch this entire movie. So I'm going to be watching it on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure it is currently on Netflix for those of you guys who would also want to watch along who haven't seen it before. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and dive right into this. And since this is the first episode, I don't know yet if I'm just going to come back at the end of the movie or if I'm going to do like a halfway through it, review it, and just tell you guys my thoughts when I'm about an hour into it. We'll see. We're just going to play it by ear. Alrighty, before I get into any reviews or anything like that, I do want to go ahead and say I'm going to be chiming in with my live reactions. So, if you guys have not seen this movie and you guys kind of wanted to watch it along with me, fair warning, my first snippet is going to be 15 minutes into the film. My second snippet is going to be about 35 minutes into the film, and then at the end, I just have my overall review of the movie. I thought that this movie was incredible, and that being said, enjoy the rest of this video. Okay, we're 15 minutes in, and I could already feel that this movie is going to destroy me emotionally, and I am not prepared for this. I'm going to continue watching. Okay, apparently I'm doing updates a little bit more often than I meant to, but holy shit, J.K. Simmons is incredible. And about a 30-second scene, he showed his entire range. He went from super calm, collected, somebody who was super kind and caring, and then he immediately turned on the full bitch mode and was like super scary and intimidating. How the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god, that was insane. Also, I'm currently at the date sequence. They're on their little date. This feels so much like The Social Network's first date, and I have a feeling this date is not going to end well, and I'm already concerned. Oh man, oh my god, I'm stressing out. I'm not going to lie, there was like a pit in my stomach the entire sequence while they were practicing with like the professional band or whatever, or like whatever J.K. Simmons' band is. They seem prestigious. I have no idea. But I don't think I've ever had a pit in my stomach that badly over a movie. This movie is doing great so far. I'm loving this. Okay, anyways, I'll catch up with you guys. Alrighty, then I'm back. I finally finished the entire movie, and oh my god, that was an incredible film. And I want to go ahead and say this. I want to say screw you to the people on the internet who did not warn me that this movie is kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, after watching this movie, I could 100% see why J.K. Simmons gets voice acting roles like Omni-Man and the villain from the Kung Fu Panda 3 movie, because his voice is menacing and terrifying, and oh my god. So my last little insert that I had in this video was me at about like the 35-minute mark, and then I ended up watching the entire last hour straight through, and oh my god, the way that they slowly build the tension, the way that Miles Teller's character is slowly throughout the entire length of the movie just getting deeper and deeper into this like really bad habit. I think that this movie is really interesting because it's kind of about like a man who is chasing a high that is basically unachievable, and he's just going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and getting closer and closer and closer, and every time he thinks that he's about to have it, a chair gets pulled out from under him, and I think that it is portrayed incredibly well. I think that this movie is very dark, and it can warn people against maybe chasing dreams that are actually toxic for you, because the way that this movie portrays the two main characters, we have Miles Teller's character, who's somebody who's kind of an addict to this thing, and he's kind of there for the adrenaline. Like, he loves the way it makes him feel. He really wants to be the best. He really sees himself as this prestigious person who could potentially be the next greatest, drummer of all time. And then we have J.K. Simmons' character, who kind of is almost like a personification of what's it called, like his own self-doubts and everything like that, and it's just constant just pressure to do better and do better and do better and be faster. And I love the sequences with J.K. Simmons where he's literally throwing stuff across the room, he's kicking the drum set, he's hammering in a cowbell next to his ear, he's stressing him out and pushing him to his limits. I think it's an incredible film. This movie is fantastic. I think for the cinematography, of this movie is incredible. I love the way that they use the different lighting effects. The like tones that they use in this movie are incredible. The sequences where it's in the like harsh yellow lighting, and then there's sequences where Miles Teller is finally like getting a little breather and a sigh of relief, and he's in like the blue lighting and he's cooled down and he's controlling his breathing, and oh my god, this movie was great. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this movie was incredible. One of my favorite films that I've seen in a really long time, and I definitely think that this movie could almost be in that category with men needing to go to therapy movies. I love men needing to go to therapy movies, and they're great. And what's it called? This movie had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. Like I mentioned in one of my last little snippets that I did, there was a pit in my chest for the majority of, not in my chest, in my stomach for the majority of this movie, where I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And it does help that I've seen a lot of people on the internet discuss this movie, and seen a lot of people talk about how the ending of this movie is kind of like crazy. And yeah, this entire movie was blowing my mind. The fact that the character who gets revealed to earlier in the movie have been died by a car accident or whatever, didn't get killed by a car accident, he actually hung himself, and it was kind of the fault of J.K. Simmons' character, is incredibly interesting and incredibly terrifying, and the way that they introduce that into the film is very, very scary. And the way that Miles Teller's character is kind of like numb to pain at this point in the movie, and he's kind of like, I really don't care, I just want to get through this, and I just want this to be over, and he's kind of like trying to move on with that part of his life and go back to normalcy. And something just inside of him, he can't do it. He wants to be a drummer. That's what he's always wanted to be. That's what he's longed for. And whenever he gets the opportunity to dive right back into this addiction, he does almost immediately. And it's beautiful. Like I mentioned, this movie, in my opinion, is incredibly symbolic. And anybody who's ever had an addiction, I feel like watching this movie could potentially be good for you to kind of see how negative that addiction could really be for you, because the sequences where they spend 5 hours playing the drums, having to go harder, faster, harder, as hard as they can, and their hands are literally bleeding, they're sweating it profusively. I don't know, I was trying to use a big word and it didn't come out at all. But it's so intense. This movie has such a great sense of like timing and rhythm, and it makes sense because it's a movie about a jazz band, and the music and stuff and everything in it is incredible. But also just like even the sequences where it's a quieter moment and it's just J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller having a one-on-one conversation, it's grasping. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie, and man, that was great. I'm not gonna lie, I am so pumped for the rest of these, because a lot of times I get recommended to like watch certain things. I'll watch it and I'm like, yeah, that's all right. And this was one that, like I've mentioned, it's been on the top of my anticipation list for a really, really long time. I've seen clips of it. I've definitely seen a lot of the weird like scenes where J.K. Simmons is making fun of people, and he comes up with just like the worst insults. I don't know how he was able to get through saying some of those lines without laughing his ass off, and I really want to know if there's a blooper reel for this movie, because it would make me feel a lot better. J.K. Simmons is terrifying. He is terrifying. During the final sequence where he looks at Miles Teller and he says, "Do you think I'm fucking stupid? I know it was you." Forget about it. I almost had to look away. I literally genuinely thought that Miles Teller's character was just like fucked. I thought he was dead on spot. I didn't know what was going to happen. And that's something that I love about this movie is, like I said, there were twists and turn, and I didn't know what was going to happen. And just so many moments over and over again that I was like, I can't watch because it's just so intense and my heart is literally pounding out my chest. What's it called? The sequence where Miles Teller's character gets to a car accident. That was scary. That was good. It got my heart pumping. I loved this movie, and I thought it was great. Anybody who's thought about watching Whiplash but hasn't, first of all, I'm so sorry. I just spoiled the entire movie for you. And third of all, what's it called? You guys should watch it. It was fantastic. I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and leave this video here. This is my first episode of Watch This Wednesday. I'm going to try to do this every single Wednesday, watch a new movie that is either a highly anticipated movie of mine, or maybe eventually when I get further into the show, I'll start doing recommendations and stuff like that. And what's it called? I don't know what my movie for next week is going to be yet, because originally it's going to be Interstellar, but Interstellar is actually going to be playing at a movie theater near me. I think later in the month, so I'm going to potentially put that one on pause, and I I don't know. I liked this being kind of like a Ned needs to go to therapy movie. I might watch Dead Honor Society or something like that, Dead Poet Society, the movie with Robin Williams where he's a teacher, because I got that one forever ago and I still haven't gotten around to watching it. But that being said, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching it. And if you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow. I just made that entire outro. I never gave a rating for this movie, and I don't know if I necessarily should be, but I think I'm going to. So overall, I think this movie was excellent. I think that the acting portrayals were incredible, and I really love the score of this movie. I love the cinematography, and it's, like I said, one of the most intense movies I think I've watched ever. I'm going to give this movie a solid 96 out of 100. I think that there's very little things that they could have done to make it a better movie, and I loved it. I thought it was really good. But yeah, now I'm going to actually outro. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to head out now. Peace out. Bow. Bow, bow.
He wanted me to drop a verse, I did this. We planned a day and then we did this. Wanna be in love with the girls with the kisses. Don't give a damn, I'll rid this. I like this when I run the distance. I run a 5K, you go ballistics. I wanna live within the business. Buy more than what's on the clearances. You're getting big cause I know you're a physicist. I wanna deny this shit, I'm unlimited.